But let's go back to your book. I'll just read you just an extract from the back cover. Grid insiders know how fragile the grid is becoming. Unfortunately, they have no incentive to solve the problems because near misses increase their profits. So here's the point, and we see this in Australia all the time. Insiders, people you talk to in the energy sector, whether they're pushing renewables or whether they're steady old-fashioned chaps who do coal and gas, they all know that the system is very shaky, that the grid is going to struggle even more than it has once we start to withdraw coal on the schedule which has been outlined. But nobody says so, right? And this is because you say that they're basically making money anyway.
Well, yes. Now, I gather that in Australia you have a market system, an auction system similar to the ones we have here.
Yeah.
And and yours got so messed up that they shut it down for a few days, which was kind of interesting, which shows that you don't need the auction system because all you need is the balancing authority and the grid keeps going, the people who are actually dispatching plants to meet load. But at any rate, the way the auction systems work, there's a clearing price. And so they're very odd. They're not an auction in the sense that we use it going for 5, going for 10. If you have like 4 plants on the grid, imagine a grid with 4 plants, and one of them can make power at 5 cents per kilowatt hour, one can make power at 10 cents, one can make power at 15 cents, and one can make power at 20 cents, okay? So if the grid operator says, gosh, we have a lot of demand, and we're going to have to get all you plants on here, then the grid operator will then say, and the 20-cent plant is setting the clearing price. All plants get 20 cents, okay? If there's less demand on the grid, then perhaps the 20-cent plant doesn't have to go on. And so only the 5, 10, and 15-cent plants go on. And then the grid operator says, okay, the 15-cent plant has set the clearing price, and now all of you are getting 15 cents per kilowatt hour. So you see the top price sets the clearing price. Now, if you were a plant, let's say you're just an ordinary little plant, maybe you're the 10-cent plant, do you want the grid to be stressed so they put on expensive plants, or do you want it to be nice and easygoing so that maybe you're setting the clearing price? You want it to be stressed so that they're putting on any expensive plants they can get their little hands on. That's how the Texas grid went up to, I think it was $9 per kilowatt hour for a while, $9,000 per megawatt hour.
Yeah. Yeah, we see crazy prices like that here from time to time, those stress points in the day, principally the late afternoon, for obvious reasons. So what you're saying is, if I'm running, I've got a small, let's say I've got a large solar plant running in New South Wales here, and I've got the potential to put maybe 250 megawatts into the system if I want to, but I might choose not to, right? I might choose to put a bit less in because I want to engineer a bit of a shortage or a bit of excess demand over supply so that the price goes up. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you would want to. I would say that in general, the people do it, but supposedly each grid actually has, not just supposedly, and a group called an independent market monitors that are supposed to be watching for this and reporting it to the grid operator, and that you could get fined or something if you do it. My experience is that they're not very effective, that I think there is more manipulation going on than they report. And it certainly was the case back in California in 2001, and when we had rolling blackouts, it was basically there were plants that all of a sudden were having outages for maintenance. Who knew? oddly enough, the price kept going up as they went out. If you own 4 plants and you can take one off for maintenance at a time when the grid is stressed, the other 3 are going to make a lot of money, and you're not going to have to buy gas for that plant that's offline.